From time to time, I see a lot of guys in therapy. In fact, men are the major population that I work with as a psychologist dealing with sexual and intimacy issues. And they'll ask questions and I'll go, that's interesting. Or they'll say, Mary Jo, do you have a video about such and such? And sometimes I think about what they said and then I make one. Well, the topic I'm going to talk about today is one such video. I mean, mostly men have asked me time after time, what does it take to be a really good husband? Like to be a standout husband. You know, they hear their wives say, you know, the reason they married them is they stood out from everybody else. But what does that really mean? Because the wife wasn't really able to explain it. I want to talk to you today about 5 qualities that have actually been deemed the most popular with making you stand out among other men in the way that you treat your partner. These are significant of actions of love. Here is the first one. The first one is you prioritize her family as much as you do your own. This is really important, especially when the wife doesn't have to remind you, when the wife sees you respect and are thoughtful of her parents, when you actually, whether your wife is in town or not, you consider them. If something happens, if there's a bad storm coming, or maybe if one of them had been sick, you go and check up on it. This makes your wife feel so close to you, so respectful of you, and more than anything you could give her, this one action is number one important. Secondly, you care for her in sickness. Most of the time, one of the partners will get sick. And I think it's kind of understood that if it's the guy who gets sick, the woman's going to take care of him. Society thinks women are better caretakers. But oftentimes when it's the woman who gets sick, she'll call her girlfriends or she'll call her neighbor or her mom. And what ends up happening is it makes men look like this is an area they can't do. So when a husband steps up, he takes care of the kids, he takes on all the chores of the household, and he takes care of his wife's illness, his wife's care. He assumes whatever she has and addresses it as part of a team of getting you well. When he educates himself about what you have so he can be your helper, that is a stand-up guy. Women have told me after being in serious illnesses, whether it was cancer or some kind of an autoimmune illness, the way their partner stepped up and took care of them and the kids so they could rest and get well was unbelievable. And it also filled them with gratitude. Thirdly, you protect them by attending to small things. When you go out and get your wife's car full of gas, or you go to the grocery store and you get the things, the staples of her diet or what she's cooking, or you park your car further away so she can be closer to the house or the apartment so that she won't get wet or have to walk any further in the dark, or in a sense, it's you thinking of what it takes to make her safe, to protect her, and you doing those things. When husbands went out of their way to do those small actions, it made the wife feel secure, loved, and protected. And for women, that is a very important thing. Fourthly, you share the household chores. When you come home from work and just like her, you dig in and you attend to what needs to get done, so you're sharing the load visibly and emotionally, that means everything. For one thing, it frees your partner from excess stress, and it makes her more likely that she will be able to have fun with you, spend time with you, and really brag about you to other people because she feels that in her heart. She knows she's really lucky to have you. And lastly, a willingness to participate in an activity that you don't especially love. When you take your partner to a show or an activity that you're not really into, but you know they'll love it, that tells your wife, I'm giving you my most valuable resource, and that is my time. Let me tell you, those are not small moments. Those are not small times. May seem insignificant to you. You may be thinking, well, she deserves diamonds. This list of these 5 things for women are better than diamonds. And if you have a wife who doesn't appreciate it and you're doing those things, then I really want you to contact me, because maybe you have the wrong wife. These things would be a standout husband no matter who it was, unless you do these things all for the goal of having more sex, or you're making her feel less than in another area. That would take some counseling. But these 5 remain solid. You don't change these. They are standout men behaviors.